Hey everyone, thanks for clicking on that button to watch this video. It means so much more than I can ever express in words. Yeah, just to be able to share my thoughts with people out there. So anyway, my next video after this is going to be about my top 10. I'm going to make a list of my top 10 solo games that I personally enjoy. Now, they might not be games that, that are strictly solo, but you can play them solo that I've enjoyed so much. But anyway, that's what I'm working on now is that list. But until then, what I've been working on recently is I came up with an idea for a little bit of a homebrew board game. And I thought I'd just share kind of my gist with you. I came up with the idea pretty quick in my head, and I jotted out some stuff. So let me show you a little video of a quick tutorial, and then we'll come back. So here's my lightning fast tutorial of my version of Rock'em Sock'em Robots in a game. Basically, I had this idea of giant robots trying to smash each other in the face, maybe have pilots later or whatever. But basically, this is like a player board, and that's where most of the action takes place. So you have your kind of your mech, which this shows this number here, and these are just like written in a little whatever, because those numbers are subject to change. This is the strength of each section of the mech, how much damage it can sustain before it becomes impaired. And then over here we have this, which is like your little cheat sheet. So basically it's just showing you how cards work. So there are three types of attack. There's wide, tall, and focus. And each one of these attacks show you where the damage will get assigned. So the center, which is the torso, can be targeted by tall or wide attacks. A wide attack will basically be your horizontal line, and your tall attacks are orange, which are either the two legs, the torso, or the head. If someone has a focus attack, they can attack any one section on the mech. So, you know, the green or whatever. I just kind of made this as an easy highlighted strip. So anyway, on a wide attack, the defender chooses where the damage goes. And also on a tall attack, the defender chooses which section will be damaged. But on a focus attack, the attacker can choose any one of the 6 sections to attack your mech on. Of course, you have your dice here, because when you do an attack, you're going to roll these dice, and on a 4 or higher adds to the power of the attack, which is the damage that's going to be assigned. So we have the prep step and the mech step, and on these 2 steps are what you do in the game. So you're going to choose one below it. So you can either scrap, strategize, or do a basic attack. And then on the mech step, you can do your regular mech attack, or you can install one upgrade. So in the game, you'll have a deck of like these resource cards that are shared by both players. They're shuffled up, and you have a hand size limit of 2, and your mech can have 3 upgrades in the game. And so these are dual purpose cards. So like, let's just say, for example, let me just show you. So scrap basically just lets you remove an installed upgrade from your mech to make room if you wanted to put in another one. But like I said, it can hold up to 3, so you're good for a while. But also your hand limit is solid, so to make room in your hand, if you're filled up at 2, you can scrap a card out of your hand by choosing that action. That means you forego the other ones. Strategize is a pretty good one, so you'll look at the top card. So I just randomly grab here. Okay, so this says wide armor, armor rating 5, but basically, so I can either bring this to my hand, or I can just discard it, or if I can leave it back on top. Okay, so let's say I decide to leave it back on top. Now I come down here on my mech step. I can choose one of these 2 actions. I can install an upgrade. Well, if I had taken this to my hand, I could just install it on my mech, and now I'll have an armor rating of 5 versus a wide armor attack. So I'd have to assign damage to it first before it reached my mech. But instead, I decided to keep it on top. And plus, I know what the card is going to do for an attack because I saw the bottom part. So now a mech attack, you have 2 choices the way to do a mech attack. You can either play a card from your hand if you have one. If you don't, you reveal the top card. And since I choose strategize, I knew this was going to be a 5 focus, which means I get to choose where the damage goes. So 5 means I will roll 5 dice. So, hey, guess what? I've got a bunch of dice here, and I also have this fancy thing that cost me 1 cent off of Temu. So I'd roll, and everything that is oh my gosh, a 4 or higher is a success. Now, assuming they didn't have armor on their mech or whatever, so that's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The power is 5. and I'm going to choose to assign it to maybe the center section. So that guy on his mech, let's say this was his pair board, because I'm trying to weaken the center because it's the most targeted. Although I could about, knock off the head, but I'm going to assign it here. So 5, let me reach over here, sorry, as everything's in my lap, and I would give this center section 5 damage. And that's the whole meat of the game. When it's no big deal. If you totally deal enough damage, it just becomes impaired. The game ends when you have 3 spots that are impaired on a mech. So everybody takes equal amount of turns. So if I went first and I had, impaired this, and this, they can still use all their upgrades and all that sort of stuff. It's just keeping track of how much overall damage you've done to make it non-functional. So what happens is once one of the players has 3, the other, the person who hadn't had a turn wouldn't be able to take a turn unless they finished it on their turn. And then whoever has the least amount of impaired sections wins the game. If not, then who has the total least amount of damage after that on that. And then after that, if there's still a tie, then you do a rocket roll off, whereas you roll all the dice in the game, and whoever has the most successes wins the game. And that's how easily you play my version called, I think it's Guardians of the Wasteland, but basically it's just Rock'em Sock'em robots with cards and dice. Okay, so there's the gist there. I hope I didn't misspeak too much. If you have any questions about the game or wordings or whatever, feel free to comment below, or ideas. And I'm sure there's people that's probably made their own version that's been better than this maybe or whatever. But I just thought I wanted something fast, punchy, nothing to worry about. But also suggestions. If you want to put in ideas below, let me know. Or if you're interested in me trying to turn this into some sort of actual game project that you would be interested in, let me know there too. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. And remember, keep those dice rolling.